Hello, so this video is going to be a little bit more comprehensive look at Microsoft Word Online. So if you are a Pitt State employee, you do have access to this. It's Office 365 and it's right there. You may have to search for it. So like you'd have to, I guess I'm not logged in as correctly, but you'd have to click this login here and you have to search from there. So if for some reason you don't immediately see that search bar, that's what you have to do. So I am just going to click on Office 365. And you can see in my tabs I already do have Word open, but I just want to show you how to get there. And you would just click on Word. One thing to note is that you can install Office on your home computer because if you are a Pitt State employee, IT has shared that I think you can have up to 15 copies. So you can give it to family, you can, put it on your phone. I found it really helpful to have it on my phone because I don't use my computer at home very often, though I will if I have to be online teaching. So here is Word, of course, and you would click on that. And you're going to see something like this. One nice thing about this is that it does give you some templates, and students might find that really useful as well. And you could explore them just by looking at more templates. I am just going to open up a blank document. So as I shared in a previous video, it's a little different if you're used to using Word on your desktop as just like a not online. And so there's some different things here that you can do. Like, for example, there's fun things with emojis that you can add, which I kind of think is fun. But all of these things are very similar in terms of what you're probably used to using with Word. There might be things in different places depending upon what Word version you have, but for example, review is pretty much very similar with track changes and things like that. What I really want to talk about here is sharing a document. So you can share these documents and so that everybody can edit them. To kind of understand editing privileges, there's a little editing button up here. And it's very similar to what I showed you with Google Docs a little bit. So you can edit and make any changes and it doesn't really mark them. If you want to review, let's say a student gave you a Google, or not a Google Doc, but this document, it's a rough draft, they sent it to you in MS Word Online, Office 365. You can click on reviewing for that, but of course you have to have privileges for that. So they'd have to make sure that you have the ability to edit the document. And viewing the file, you just view it and make no changes. And you can see it does something like that. I'm gonna get out of that if I can. Can't. I use Google Docs a lot, which you're going to notice as I go through this. So I kind of had to learn this a little bit on my own. So here's sharing. I kind of like their sharing a little bit more than I like the Google Docs sharing. Sorry, Google Docs. There are some things here you can do. So copy link is super useful, but you need to make sure that, something like this, if you're sharing it with people at Pitt State, that they can edit it if you want them to. You can also change that permission by deselecting that. And you can even block downloading of it. So if you just want somebody to view the document and not have the ability to download, you can do that. But I think it's good to download. So, but that's all based off on whatever permission you want to give the document. But I'm going to allow editing, and you can see if you do that, it's just going to block your ability to do that because, of course, if you want somebody edited, they should be able to download it. So here I've selected anybody with Pittsburg State can use the link. You can also choose specific people to edit it. So let's say, I have a student who is not using their Pitt State web address, or, if I want my husband or a friend outside of Pitt State to edit something or see something, I can set it to that, and I would click apply. It's going to allow you to put any kind of, like if I type in somebody at Pitt State, it's going to show me who I can send that to. You can also put in other people's email address. So it's, as you can see, that's somebody outside of Pitt State that I know that I could send it to. So it's really nice in terms of versatility and in how you can send it to different people. You can also email these through Outlook. So if you do want to send it to people that are internal to Pitt State, that's probably a good option to use if you wish. But one thing to remember out of all of this is that you want to think about if you want them to edit it or not, or if you just want them to view the document. You can see anyone with link is already kind of selected here because I click share. So that's that. I'm going to get out of that. Another option you have here is to leave comments. And so if you want to do that, you can just do a comment. I do like this, again, a little bit more better than Google Docs because I can mention somebody if we are editing the document. I can just leave a comment. And so let me just show you. So, hello. So that's one comment, right? I've just shared that. And it's just going to show up on the document somewhere. So obviously if I had something on this document, I could click and highlight and give comments that way. You also have track changes in here, which is unlike Google Docs. In Google Docs, you have to get a specific add-on, which I don't have and I never use. So I do this kind of clunky activity where, you know, I'm probably taking too much time and could do something easier. Here, you have track changes. So they're off right now. You can just turn that on. You can do for everyone or just mine. So if you just want to go through and review yourself, you can do that. And noted, it just automatically switches to reviewing. You can only do this if you have editing privileges. So anytime you run into quirks in this, it's probably, if a student sent it to you or somebody else, it's probably just a matter of them not giving you adequate permission, which is why I spent a little bit of time going over the share button there. As for that, I think a lot of this is very similar to Word. You're going to see some new things because it is in an online setting, and you can like do things that, you know, at least my Word document, my MS Office cannot do, and I still need to update mine. So that's could be one of the reasons why I don't see a lot of the same things or some of the same things here. So if you do have any questions about Microsoft Office Online, since I'm kind of new, maybe I'm not the best person to ask, but you're going to have to experiment with these, learn what works for you. I know a lot more about Google Docs than I know about Online Office. If you notice, we all tend to use our preferred platforms, and we don't often always venture too much outside of them, which I think is a problem we're seeing right now. Like, some of us have never used Canvas, and now suddenly we're having to learn. And we should probably be thinking about ways we can use Canvas. Speaking of Canvas, I will make another video that goes over that collaboration tool. But before you can use that collaboration tool, it's probably best you know how to use something in Office, here, Office Online, or in Google Docs. So thank you.